Hey, what's up, everybody? This is GalacticJerry bringing another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. And I know it's been a few days since my last upload, so thank you for your patience. And this time, I am facing against another passerby. His name is Tavo, I suppose. And he's carrying a Sceptile, a Gallade, a Charizard, a Beautifly, a Kecleon, and a Wigglytuff. This team is kind of interesting because I don't usually face Kecleon or Beautifly for that matter. But anyways, over on my team, I ain't carrying new players on my team. And I have a Jirachi, a Vaporeon, Gliscor, Bofalant, a Dragonite, and a Venusaur. Which, of course, my Mega Evolution is going to be Venusaur. And over his end, he's probably going to Mega Evolve his Charizard at some point. Anyways, let's get this rolling and see how it goes. So he sends out his Wigglytuff, and I start with my Jirachi. So I started with Thunder Wave, just hoping to start my paraflinching thing going on. And he goes for Fire Blast right off the bat, but luckily for me, my Jirachi is able to avoid the attack. And meanwhile, I went for Iron Head, which is able to do more than half of the damage. But this time, unfortunately, I couldn't get the paraflinch going. And he is able to get the Fire Blast off finally. But luckily for me, it's not able to do more than half the damage. Meanwhile, he withdraws. And that turn, I think I decided to go for Protect. But it failed since he switched out. But luckily for me, I will be able to use another Protect if I need to. But of course, Sceptile is faster than me, so he goes for Leech Seed, which can be pretty annoying. Meanwhile, I went for Wish, just to recover most of the damage I took from Wigglytuff. Meanwhile, I am able to recover a little more with the leftovers. But that goes away with the Leech Seed. Anyways, he goes for Water Seed, which at this point I'm not sure what it was. But it turns out that my Serene Grace is gone and I gain Insomnia, which could suck because I won't be able to Paraflinch as well. But luckily for me, when I used Thunder Wave, I was able to get the paralysis, I think. I might have missed it. Anyways, I go for Iron Head just to get some damage off and hopefully get the flinch, even though I don't have Serene Grace anymore. But I did quite some damage on it, but he had a berry and is able to recover most of it. Meanwhile, he goes for Focus Blast, gets a critical hit, but not quite enough to get me below half. Meanwhile, I do go for he is still recovering from Leech Seed, so I am now below half. But I did go for Wish, so I should be able to recover pretty much everything when I use Protect next turn, which I think I do. Meanwhile, he goes for Energy Ball, and it's not very effective, but of course it gets a critical hit. He hasn't been paralyzed ever since I've Thunder Waved him, I think. Which I don't know, just annoying sometimes because whenever I get paralyzed, I don't move for like 2 turns in a row or something like that. And I don't know, something just doesn't work for me. Anyways, I do go for Protect just to get the Wish recover, which is able to give me most of my HP back. And I do recover a little more with the leftovers. But unfortunately, he still has a Leech Seed going on. So at this point, I should probably switch out. Yeah, I do switch out. Okay, finally. And I go for my Venusaur. Okay. And meanwhile, he decided to use Energy Ball, which of course does nothing, since I'm also a Grass type. Anyways, I do decide to go for my Mega Evolution to Mega Evolve, I suppose. I mean, and I go for Sludge Bomb, knowing it's gonna be super effective, and it's able to almost take him down, but unfortunately it doesn't. And he goes for Water Seed again. And there goes my Thick Fat, and I get Insomnia again. Annoying. So I decided to switch out because I don't want to deal with that right now. And I go for Jirachi, knowing that he won't do Leech Seed because it's not going to be effective against Venusaur. Anyways, he decided to go for Energy Ball, I guess just to get some damage off. But luckily my Jirachi is able to resist it pretty well. And I do go for Protect just to recover a little more with the leftovers. And finally he gets a Paralyzed turn. So I am able to recover a little more with the leftovers. And I just want to get rid of the Sceptile. I was worried to see it's getting annoying. So I go for Iron Head, and I am able to take it down, of course. Meanwhile, I am able to recover a little more with the leftovers. Then he goes with Charizard, which I do not want my Jirachi to face, so I do this switch out and go for my Vaporeon. Okay, so at this point I was really hoping that he was not going to have the Mega Charizard Y, because I know he's probably going to be carrying Solar Beam. But luckily for me, he's Charizard X. But he goes for Will-O-Wisp, which can be annoying. But luckily for me, I don't have any physical attacks on my Vaporeon, so it shouldn't really matter on that department. But he does switch out, and meanwhile, okay, so he goes to Rango, which I don't know what to expect from a Kecleon, because I don't really face it. But meanwhile, I did go for Yawn just to get him to fall asleep. But unfortunately, this burn damage is really killing it for me. So he goes for, he withdraws, so you know, he knew he was going to fall asleep next turn if he stayed out there. Meanwhile, I went for Astral Armor just to boost up my defense, especially knowing that my Vaporeon has really weak defense as it is. But at this point I should be fine for at least a hit or two, hopefully. And I am able to recover a little more with the leftovers, but it shouldn't really matter because the burn keeps taking away everything. Meanwhile, his Galate goes for Substitute. I'm not sure what he was expecting me to do, but I went for Shadow Ball, knowing it's going to be super effective. So I am able to take down his Substitute. And unfortunately he has leftovers, so he's able to recover a little more. So at this point I just figured I might as well get rid of his Galate as soon as possible, before my Vaporeon dies and, you know, from the burn damage. So at this point I think I decided to go for another... No way, he's faster of course, so you go for Psychic Cut. Doesn't do a lot. I go for Skull, just hoping to get the burn and cut his attack in half even more. But unfortunately it doesn't really do much, and it's able to recover with the leftovers. So do I, but I am burned, so... No. Yeah, it brings me... Well, I don't know, it didn't really help. Then you go for Close Combat, hoping to take me down. And I barely survived. And luckily for me, he gets a defense and special defense drop. And I did go for Shadow Ball, I knowing that it will probably take it down, which it does. But unfortunately, I am going to go down with the burn as well. So I guess it was 1 for 1, whatever you want to call it. That really sucked. The burn really killed me. Now this turn he goes for Rango, and I go for Gliscor. Then I still at this point I'm not sure what his Kecleon is up to, so he goes for Fake Out. Okay, might as well use it, I suppose. I get the flinch, but I am able to get a Toxic Orb damage activation, I suppose. And he withdraws for some reason into his Wigglytuff. Then I use the Substitute. At this point I decide to take advantage of... Okay, I do recover a little with the Poison Heal. And I go for Sword Stand just to boost my attack. And at this point I'm not sure if my Earthquake is going to be enough to take down my... take down his Wigglytuff. Meanwhile I do notice that he's carrying Ice Beam, so... At this point, I'm hoping that the paralysis takes effect, so I can, you know, take advantage of the missed turn. So I keep using Substitute, because I'm still not sure if my Earthquake is going to be enough to take down Wigglytuff, especially knowing that Wigglytuff has some really high HP, but unfortunately he's not getting paralyzed. He keeps going for Ice Beam and keeps taking down my substitute, and I used another substitute again. And of course, he goes for another Ice Beam. He's not paralyzed that turn. See what I mean? I don't get the best of luck, but whenever I paralyze anyone, they're able to move perfectly fine. I don't know. So something's up. I go for another substitute, hoping to get a paralysis this turn. And of course, he doesn't get paralyzed that turn. He goes for another Ice Beam and takes down my substitute. And at this point, this is getting really annoying. And I think I decide to finally attack. I am able to recover a little more with the Poison Heal. Yeah, I do decide to finally attack, hoping it was going to take it down. Which it does. So at this point, I wasted all the damage from the substitute I did. Oh my god, I don't know, it was just... What a waste, right? Then you go for Charizard. Which of course the Charizard is faster, I suppose, since it's probably max speed. Oh, my Gliscor is max speed, I'm jolly. But anyways, he goes for third blitz and is able to take down my Gliscor. Which is now I do regret him doing all the substitute. Anyways, I go for my Dragonite. Then he go for Will-O-Wisp just to cut my attack in half, I suppose, and get rid of my multi-skill. Meanwhile, I did go for Dragon Dance just so I could outspeed him next turn. But the burn takes down my multi-skill, and I go for Dragon Claw. I know it's probably not gonna take him down, but it's able to do more than half. Then he goes for his own Dragon Dance just to get his speed back and to outspeed me. But he doesn't know this. But I am carrying extreme speed on my Dragonite, so it should be enough to take him down, which it does. This is why you always gotta carry a priority move on your Pokemon. It becomes really helpful. Anyways, he goes for Beautifly, and I go for Dragon Claw. Hopefully it will do more than half, which it does. Then he goes for Quiver Dance, I guess just to outspeed me next turn. But he should know that I ain't carrying extreme speed by this point. Meanwhile, the burn keeps taking away my HP. And I do go for extreme speed knowing that his BFI is probably going to be faster. I'm not really sure. But I am able to take it down. Meanwhile, my Dragonite keeps taking damage. Then he goes for Wrangle. Okay, so I know he's carrying a Fake Out. Okay, if he's going to use, of course. Just gets a critical hit, and almost takes me down, but unfortunately I am burning. My Dragonite does faint this turn. Then I go for my Jirachi just to get the Paraflinch thing going, which lucky for me I am faster than his Kecleon. Then he go for Power Up Punch. Okay, so he's a Protein one. And should be able to get the stat boost, and does quite some damage surprisingly. But at this point I'm not sure what to expect from this Kecleon. So I go for Iron Head, but unfortunately he's carrying Socket Punch. I did not expect that one. And is able to take down my Jirachi. Not even a critical hit, just takes it down. Then again, he did get the power up attack boost. Meanwhile, I go for my Venusaur. And I decide to... Okay, so he gets paralyzed, which is good, because I don't want to deal with any of his attack right now. Meanwhile, I go for Leech Seed. Now he knows how annoying it is, since he did it to me with his Sceptile. I am able to recover any damage I had. And you go for Shadow Sneak. And doesn't really do much. And I go for Giga Drain just to recover any damage, but since it doesn't really do much, but I'm able to recover with the Leech Seed again. No, I was at full health anyways. No, I'm not at full health. Now I'm at full health. Anyways, I go for Sludge Bomb now. And I guess I should have known better since he last used a Ghost, so this potion type Sludge Bomb wasn't super effective. Then he goes for another Power Up Punch, which does nothing, but his attack is at +2 now. So I need to get rid of this Kecleon as soon as possible. And luckily for me, finally he gets another paralysis. I am able to do Giga Drain, get the critical hit, and take him down with the last least seed I have. And I think that's the last Pokemon. Yep, there we go. Unfortunately, I did not get to use my Buffalont, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. I don't know, his team was kind of interesting, especially with the Kecleon. Anyways, I hope you liked the battle, and if you could, please subscribe and like the video, and make sure to check out my other Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battles. The more support I get, the better. Thank you, and until next time.